Hello strategy gaming enthusiasts, my name is AlzaboHD, and in today's video we are going to uncover the rarest and most unique fiefdoms you've likely never played in CK3. These underrated kingdoms and hidden homelands offer some of the best bonuses and flavor within the entire game, but due to their obscurity and relative difficulty in obtaining, are consequently some of the least played polities within the medieval world. Through a combination of migration, diplomacy, and war, we can score these secretive states. And speaking of war, this video is sponsored by Warhaven. Warhaven is an upcoming free-to-play squad-based fantasy game for PC, where you are in command of one of 6 different character classes to fight for glory in 12 vs 12 PvP combat. Team up with friends and fight against foes to dominate the battlefield in online mayhem, and test your mettle with Warhaven's dynamic melee system that's easy to pick up and play, but challenging to master. This sponsorship is rare in that this is a game I actually want to play, and what's unique about Warhaven is that if you succeed in slicing apart your opponents, you can transform into an immortal, who are godlike superhumans you can use to annihilate the enemy. Every soldier and immortal has their own background story, and the game takes place in a world equal parts modern and medieval. It's time to take your sword onto Steam and wishlist Warhaven today so that you can play when early access releases on September 20th, and you can support me, AlzaboHD, by clicking the links in the description and pinned comment below. Neutralizing their way onto number 10 of the most formidable formables is the Kingdom of the Swiss Confederation. This tax evasion nation can only be created by possessing the duchies of Carinthia and Transylvania as a Central Germanic, Frankish, or Latin-cultured character, and having your liege hold an empire-level title. In 1066, the HRE exists in this region and makes the Proto-Habsburg Count Werner of Argo a good choice, as he's of the correct culture, isn't yet inbred, and already owns a required county. Once you peacefully procure the 6 cantons, you can form the Swiss state, though you might want to wait until you control the Duchy of Savoy, as the formation of this nation will annex it into our kingdom automatically. Forming Switzerland will give you absolute crown authority, and if you start in 867 AD, this Swiss cheese is the fastest way to boost your authority legitimately, and allows you to designate heirs and change succession laws, making Switzerland ideal for the art of the deal. No man is an island, but 9 out of 10 island boys recommend Baleo-Tyrrhenia, the rarest Mediterranean monarchy in CK3. In real life, the Tyrrhenians were pirates, and this polity has little basis in reality, but BT is in an excellent position for creating your own story with alternative history. To form this kingdom of Sardinian seamen, you'll need the Fate of Iberia DLC and the duchies of Mallorca, Corsica, Sardinia, and Sicily, with most likely your capital in either of these 4 territories. Baleo-Tyrrhenia possibly has a boat, the best modifiers of any kingdom in game, and upon reformation grants you 100 years of controlling the Mediterranean. This modifier increases monthly prestige by 5%, global development growth by 15%, naval speed by 10%, and a further +5 coastal advantage for maximum booty. While this modifier is active, you also have the ability to declare war for any county that borders the Mediterranean Sea, allowing you to seize control of the former Mare Nostrum with practical piracy. This modifier used to be even more broken by granting every member of your dynasty plus 25% renown, allowing players the ability to unlock all dynastic traditions in decades. But you'll have to roll back to patch 1.6 if you want to seize this OPGs. Nonconformity is a Visigothic tradition, and the Kingdom of Toledo is a unique nation that you'll normally never see. To form this obscure Iberian polity, you'll need the Fate of Iberia DLC and play as a ruler of Mozarabite Christianity, which is easily found in Iberia in 867 AD. Next, you'll need to move your realm capital to the Taifa of Tayatula, control the Duchy of Toledo, and hold at least one other neighboring duchy title that belongs to any kingdom excluding Navarra, Castile, or Leon. As long as you're a sovereign Iberian ruler who don't need no Dorito, you can now establish the Kingdom of Toledo, which gives you 750 prestige, plus 10% county development, and absorbs a random neighboring duchy into its kingdom level title. Their crown capital has a special building, and it's Bruene, and you should know that their unique religion can convene a council every 25 years, which grants development modifiers for playing tall, and religious reformation reductions to recreate Christianity with an Andalusian identity. Erupting their way up our list of hidden kingdoms is the Kingdom of Canarias, and quite possibly the best location to play tall in CK3. In each starting date, this state does not exist and must be forged by owning the 3 islands of Akinech, Maxarata, and Madeira, and forming the Duchy of Canarias. But you'll need to have a feudal government to form this avian kingdom, and instead of playing the tribal unreformed counts, you can form this fiefdom faster by invoking Heistein, or any other feudal figure of your choice. With Hasty's Viking County Conquest CB, we can spread meatball seed to these islands, move our capital to Akinech, feudalize our holdings, and create the Duchy of Canarias. Next, you'll need to develop each island to 10, and transform your empty baronies into city, temple, or castle holdings. With the requirements met, we can now consolidate the Canarias, which grants us 750 prestige, a great nickname, and the choice to bind the kingdom to the Empire of Hispania. The local religion worships liquid hot magma, and with 3 holy sites nearby, you can reform this volcanic religion whose megalithic constructions offer quite possibly the best duchy building in the entire game. This great megalith is a strict upgrade over the Royal Reserve building and grants massive permanent modifiers and a plus 15% to development growth in our crown capital, making a Chapa-Chapanism the best religion for this volcano Viking Canary Kingdom. What happens when you combine yet another Viking invasion, a secret DLC state, and the patience of playing until 1100 AD? Well, you get Daneland, a surprising sequel to the Danelaw Kingdom that is itself formable by invading Britain as a tribal Nordic culture within the pre-medieval era. If you want to turn your Danelaw into proper Daneland, you'll then need to be in the high or late medieval era, ensure the Kingdom of England still exists, and that the year is 1100 AD or later. Due to the arbitrary requirement of the Danelaw requiring the tribal era to form, also known as 867 AD, and the Daneland requiring formation in 1100 AD onwards, Daneland is very rare as no AI has the skill and few players have the patience required to play a CK3 campaign in its entirety. Upon formation, you'll speak an incomprehensible language, get prestige, obtain the updated Kingdom of Danelaw title, and your English neighbors will look down upon you with -75 disdain, as the Danes are their Anglo-Saxon ancestors. The only thing rarer than Daneland is a subscriber to AlzaboHD, and the AI has told me that there's less than a 1 in 4 chance of you sieging the subscription box. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to AlzaboHD, and with our alliance ensured, it's time to return to the rarest remaining realms in all of CK3. Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to the Jewish home of Israel and the 5th rarest kingdom in either starting date. To create this Hebrew homeland of milk and honey, you'll need to start as or convert religions to any of the Jewish faiths, making Emperor Manasseh of Khazaria or Count Dawit of Dambia in 1066 good choices for the formation of Israel. First, you'll need to defend your way into and absorb the 3 duchies of Haute-Jourdain, Palestine, and Urdun, and have at least a moderate amount of fame and a high amount of Torah knowledge. Once you've landed in the Levant and have converted the county of Jerusalem to your chosen rabbinical religion, you can then revive the 3rd temple by decision and elect yourself king or queen of the Levantine lands. You'll also gain prestige, piety, and religious fervor, and have a 33% chance of each of your counties to individually convert and assimilate into your character's faith and culture. Ultimately, it is really easy to form with the Khazarite Empire, but a better choice is choosing Samian, as you can grab an achievement in Iron Man mode. If you want to see me, AlzaboHD, schlep stateless Sephardic Jews from Spain into Tel Aviv, I invite you to check out the video card at the top right of your screen. The only thing better than Israel is an Italian compliment, and Bene Israel is quite possibly the most obscure polity on our entire list. These Tika Malabari tribes are purported to be the Indian descendants of David, and currying this nation into formation will be no easy task. You'll first need to either create a custom character of the Malabarite faith, or invite an unlanded character into court through which you can convert via marriage or education. Secondly, you'll need to be a count or a duke and control the western coast of India in Chilean tentacular tradition. Before we can form Bene Israel, we'll need to restore the Malabari high priesthood, and oy vey, this is going to require the conquest of either Israel proper or Burma, as you'll need a third holy site. Cutting into either direction will be challenging, and circumscribing the priesthood promotes you and second Jew to the head of your faith, which will in turn allow you to restore the Holy Land as a Tamil king. As an Indian Jew, you can choose to form Vanilla Israel as well, but Bene is better for Romans and alternative history. When it comes to CK3 and DLC formable nations, there's Norse going back, and the Kingdom of the North Sea at number 3 is arguably the most difficult nation to form in today's video. Forming the North Sea is only possible in the tribal and early medieval era, effectively time-locking its formation between 867 and 1066 AD. Jarl will have to be king of Denmark, Norway, and England for over 30 years in-game, control the North Sea sea lanes, own the Northern Lords DLC, and ensure the Danelaw doesn't exist before you can become High King of the Vikings. You'll also need sonic speed to conquer these areas before the High Medieval era, but once formed, you'll gain the Defiant High King modifier, which grants you far faster religious conversions for 20 years and allows you to cast aside Christianity permanently. Electing their way up our list of micro-states that peaked before you were inborn is sugar-free Germany, also known as Austria. Forming this archduchy will require diplomacy and the possession of the duchies of Austria and Steiermark as a Catholic count or duke. At first, you won't be able to keep it in the family, as your dynasty must differ from the imperial emperor, and your liege must be the Kaiser of the HRE. You'll also need to farm fame until the illustrious level, raise your crown authority to high or higher, and obtain or fabricate a hook on the Holy Roman Emperor. We can now form this special Austrian kingdom level title, which grants prestige, integrates any controlled historical duchies into our de jure territory, and rewards us with primogeniture, arguably the best succession law in CK3. Your oldest child will now inherit all titles, making those who are hungry for territorial integrity happy, as this will prevent your realm from splitting after secession. It's time to raise our chalice and step up to the most hidden empires you've likely never seen in CK3. The cognates of Tagskul, Arlund, Barun, White Horde, Golden Horde, Ilkhanate, Black Horde, and Chagatai can only appear if the Chinggis Khan take control of their respective regions. First, you'll need to form the Mongolian Empire, which will need a character of Mongolic heritage, vast tracts of land across Eurasia, and the prestige and fame of a living legend. You can then take the decision to become the greatest of Khans, which will transform your tag into the Mongol Empire, which benefits from unique subjugation mechanics and the strongest casus belli in the entire game, which allows you to declare war for any kingdom level title. Our next step is easy, and will only require us to conquer the entire world, but since most players rarely play more than 100 years, this will probably drive you to tears. Finally, you'll need to sleep with plague rats to shed the mortal coil once, twice, or maybe 6 times, until eventually the empire shatters into a second dark age of imperial successor states, allowing you the power to ask yourself why you'd ever want to do this in the first place. Before we end today's video, I'd like to quickly mention other rare realms that couldn't quite cut the list. My personal favorite is the Kingdom of Fashion, a Royal Court DLC Easter egg that can only be formed by the decision to introduce a new fashion at court, and achieving a critical success against any who oppose your drip in the event outcome. There's also a complete list of the rarest formable nations that we've previously covered in the card on top of your screen, and as of September 2023 are still up to date with the latest CK3 update. The latest AlzaboHD update is that I've moved into my new place and I'm ready to pick up my pace of video production once again, so I thank you for your patience as I get my acoustics set up and the echo out of my recordings. Perhaps the Rarest CK3 nation is sticking until the end, and I'd like to thank you for watching this far and supporting the YouTube algorithm. If you've liked what you see, I implore you to adopt the like button and slide into the subscription box. It's free and helps me, and on this channel you can find a variety of guides, content, and challenge videos. If you want to help me find and fund an editor for faster future content and get access to unique perks, I implore you to also consider donating to my Patreon or by becoming a YouTube channel member. This video is sponsored by Warhaven, and I invite you to check out the description box and pinned comment below to find out more information. So long, farewell, and be sure to check yourself out in the credits.